Watching the end of the Air Force and Navy game. And they were talking about how impressive the cadets are. The athlete cadet. It's like being trained to murder over money, to maintain status quo of the wealthier fools that perceive that are fools that perceive their wealth as a high wall of safety. Okay, that the poor plead for mercy and the rich answer of insults. Okay, it's wrong to acquit the guilty and deny justice to the innocent is not impressive in any way, shape, or form. Okay, in all ancient documents, that one man has crosses on his face for the Air Force Academy doing their rituals. Okay. In all traditions, okay, of religions on planet Earth that we know today that have withstood the test of time, okay, those that will fall into sin need a living correction to correct them and remind them to be the soul and not the flesh. Let the dead bury the dead. Okay, do you understand? Okay, so those people right now putting on a show for men. Okay, verily I say unto you, okay, that when you pray, do it in private, and your Father who sees in private will reward you openly. Okay. Don't be like the men on TV in the synagogues and the street corners that get their rewards from men. Okay, I don't get my rewards from men. I get my rewards from the Holy Father. Okay, I do what I do. My Facebook, because of the U.S. military operations in this community, has been shut down. My YouTube, okay, has been consistently manipulated with the same numbers over 15 years. 15 years. Okay. I don't think Jeff Bezos and the kid that was the head of Google, okay, like Wolowitz and Cooper and Hofstadter have anything to say about what happens with the numbers of the Messiah on social media. How he trends, I think it's all Colonel Williams. Okay. Oh no, that's not Howard. Okay, do you understand? So you can go on TV, look proud and smile, get up at 5 a.m. and train to kill or be killed, and be in Marine commercials with drones flying around in the air. Someone has to sacrifice. The life of sacrifice is living a faithful, loving life, passing away and passing on a faithful, loving life to your children and grandchildren. And that's the extent of it. Okay. In the very near future, I do not see or feel military academies surviving what they've attempted to do to me. Okay. They will no longer exist. Okay. If you want to play football, you're going to have to go to, in Maryland, you're going to have to be a Turpin or, is it Eagle? What are the Maryland Eastern Shore? Do they have a football team? I don't think they do. I think they just have a basketball team. Who else is a college in Maryland that has a football team? In Colorado, you got CSU. You got lots of choices in Colorado. You've got CSU. You got University of Colorado. Okay. You got CSU Pueblo. They play football. You got Mesa, Colorado Mesa in Grand Junction. They have a small football stadium in Almosa where they used to be the Indians, but now they're the Grizzlies. It was just like in Pueblo, where they play in the Thunder Bowl, where the Thunderwolves, they used to be the Indians, but now they're the Thunderwolves. You've also got a small stadium in Gunnison, Colorado to play football at. You've got a stadium in Durango to play football for the Skyhawks. So you can be a Skyhawk, you can be a Mountaineer, you can be a Grizzly, you can be a Thunderwolf, you can be a Maverick, you can be a Ram, or you can be a Buffalo. And a Bear. Can't forget the Greeley, Northern Colorado Bears. There's Northern Colorado Bears. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Colorado Mines Ore Diggers. You guys got to learn how to mine correctly so you don't destroy the ecosystem and only do it in accordance to need. So you're going to have to get a hell of a lot, find a lot more smarter. The University of Colorado Mines Ore Diggers there. Dip-dop diddly-doo. Dip dop diddly doo dop diddy doo dop diddly doo da doo. Very pretty little stadium. Yeah. It's up in Golden. It's a pretty spot. It's Colorado. Okay. Grand Junction, it's in a pretty spot. Durango's in a pretty spot. Gunnison's in a pretty spot. The one place I think people would think, oh, it's ugly. It's on the plains. Is Pueblo. It's got the least. The scenery's pretty though. It's wide open country for cattle and stuff. So it's pretty. It's more like Billings as opposed to Bozeman and Missoula. It's got its own pretty, but Pueblo's pretty. Colorado, it's Colorado. I like Colorado, but eastern Colorado is a little bit northern Nebraska, Kansas looking. Okay. And central and western Colorado's got the Rockies going through it, right? Okay. Well, you know that song by, what's his name? You know, the kid who killed himself with throat cancer from too much Copenhagen? Chris Ledoux? There's something goes across the Colorado sky. He's talking about eastern Colorado. It's going to blow away our little part. I mean, the wind blows in Colorado like you wouldn't believe. They have 80-mile-an-hour winds come down through Boulder and blow down houses and shit like in Wyoming. Yeah. When you're doing stuff that's out of whack in nature, those mountains become deadly. Okay. You know, more people, more spark cars upon the land. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it burn, flame of fire in the sky. Yeah. Talk to God and listen to the, he's like that rapper. You cannot talk to God and listen to the casual reply. God's omniscient and omnipotent. You're either talking to the Lord, and if you listen, he'll reply, or you're talking to yourself and you're perceiving yourself as God. Most of you are, NASA, you watching? I need more money to fuck Megan Thee Stallion. And all the women before that, baby got back, right? You're going to need lots of money to get at. You're going to need lots of money. She says you don't on TV, but she's a liar. Maybe she'll change. Maybe she'll change. People have a way of changing when they have children. They really do. They can be selfish, settle out of courts, they can be those type of people when they're young. And then they have babies, and a lot of people will change. And by the time you get to grandbabies, it's like, once the Messiah comes and explains everything to him beyond a reasonable doubt and proves it for 15 years, like you wouldn't believe. These people in this valley are mean as hell to me, man. You're going to die from cancer. You're going to die. Your body's shutting down. It feels like that. Oh, gosh, yeah. But I can't tell you how many times in this lifetime, that I felt like I was dying. When my mom was dying, I felt like I was dying too. Okay. When she was sick. Okay. My dad's 88 years old. I'm 58, and chemically poisoned and Wi-Fi tortured by the worst perverts in the history of the world. So yeah, I'm going to feel that way. And because of the chemical detoxing, it's uncomfortable, and I feel like I'm dying. Oh yeah, and I tell Patrick, I think Gabe, yeah. And I told Gabe, if they kill me, if they try to kill me, this is way different than Haile Selassie or Judah Krishnamurti. And they remind me of that all the time. This is the first time they've ever had super and quantum computing dealing with the Messiah. Okay. They didn't have this kind of technology that's supposed to be supremely intelligent, and solve all our problems because of the geniuses during Haile Selassie's time, Judah Krishnamurti's time, D.T. Suzuki's time. I'm the dude. And then people, it's not you, you're too road and vulgar. It's like, you guys raised me on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, Mel Brooks movies, Zorro the Gay Blade. I mean, hello, McBurger, McFly. What did you expect? You expect, I was raised in the Hugh Hefner generation, y'all. A Playboy under every bed, right? What did you fucking expect out of me? Okay. Holy cow. Yeah. I'm a good kid. I was such a good kid. Oh, I was one of the best kids. Well, like they told me in Sierra Vista, people would kill for your worst day. I was like, they do kill for my worst day. Yeah, they kill people and then try to act like I don't exist. And they try to make my worst day. Okay, my worst day, is like nothing compared to what people do on a daily basis to maintain their corporation to maintain their persona. Yeah. I don't need to know what happens in Taylor Swift's life and what happens. I don't need to know Lady Gaga's business. I don't want to be in her bedroom. I don't need to know Beyonce's, Jay-Z's, the Smiths and the Jada Pinkett Smiths, homosexual parties with, that they learned from Quincy Jones. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay, don't need to know. What happened with the Navy SEAL and my fellow workers, it was bad enough, But the thing about it is it's not it's not the conception of the child. Okay, it's the acceptance of the life of the child that makes it immaculate. My immaculate faith. Okay, I give people back the beauty of their lives. With my courage, my kindness, my beauty. Like I told Pancha about, the thing with Oscar and old Nate Reynolds and stuff with the people in Sheridan doing what they were doing. And she's, well, it's obvious, that Kate's not your daughter. Oh, yeah, she is. She's my daughter. She's my truth. Because I was explaining the truth of what was happening and trying to get it not to happen. And they were all acting like, and David Rockefeller records everything. Okay. And you voted for it. The Patriot Act. You voted for NASA. You voted for the satellites. You work hard and give your money to the government to have your satellites, to keep your bank account safe, to keep your legacy safe, to keep your corporation safe. There's nothing. Let's go over those 3 proverbs one more time. Okay? The wealthy are fools who falsely perceive their wealth as a high wall of safety. The poor plead for mercy. The rich answer of insults. And is wrong to acquit the guilty and deny justice to the innocent. And I'm not El Zorro. I'm not a rich person trying to use old-fashioned propaganda to keep the business going and everybody going to Disneyland. I'm the restorer of a house, a home, a family, and a man that loved to sew. You don't have to leave us to join the burlesque show. Okay? You can be romantic, intimate, and love and be loved in return. All the things, that Nita Baker said don't happen in one of her songs can happen, but you don't need a knight in shining armor. You need a faithful, gracious, good shepherd and a woman worthy of his love. All right? Just hang in there, man. I'm working. It's going to take a couple of hours for this to load because the people around here in close proximity are pathetic because they think their money and technology is better than my love. My love. Don't throw away my love. Okay? I could fall in love with you. Dreaming of you tonight or with you tonight. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. I'll be back. Love you.